Hi again, everyone. In Unit 1, Lesson 8, titled Drawings, Tables, and Graphs, you're going to get to page 4 of 5, and it's going to ask you to practice making a table, making a bar, line, and pie graph using Microsoft Excel. Now, some of you may not have Microsoft Office on your computer and you downloaded the free version called OpenOffice. And what I want to show you is how to do all of these things using that program instead, since the directions are not provided to you within the lesson. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the link How to Create a Table using Excel 2003 so that I can get the information I need so I can put it into a table. And I'm going to move this over here to just this side of the screen. Then I'm going to go to my Start menu and I'm going to open the program called OpenOffice Calc, C-A-L-C. This is the program that is the equivalent to Microsoft Excel. And I'm actually going to minimize this and kind of move it around so I can see both of these windows at the same time. Okay. So now what I need to do is read my directions, and it's telling me that I need to create a table in Excel, or in this case in Calc, using this information. We're going to have days of the week and the number of minutes that we exercised. So I'm going to go to my OpenOffice Calc program and I'm going to click in the box A1. You have to actually click in the box. Now nothing's going to happen until you start to type. So according to the directions, we need to put day of the week in here. And once you start typing, it will go in the box. So day of the week. And it's going to go over the box. That's okay. We can fix it in a minute. I'm going to hit the Tab key just to move to the next box. You can also click in that box if it's easier for you. And in B1, we want to put exercise. And this is in minutes. And then I'm going to hit enter so I can go to A2. Now, you notice that we don't have all of A1 in here. It's kind of cut off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the line that is between the A and the B boxes until my cursor turns into a plus sign, and I'm going to move it over until I get the whole thing in one box. I'm going to do the same thing here between the B and the C so that minutes is in a box on its own too. So now that everything has enough space, now I can put the rest of the labels in. So A2 is going to be Sunday and then Monday, and I'm just hitting enter at the end of each box. After I type, I'm hitting enter. And I'm just going to type each day of the week. Okay, all the way to Saturday. Now I need to put my amount of exercise in, so I'm going to scroll down a little bit here so I can see what I have to put in. So Sunday was 60, then we had 30, and again, 30. At the end of each one, I'm just hitting enter to go to the next box. And I'm just following the directions in the lesson. Okay. So that tells me what the data is. Now it wants me to format and create some lines and borders around my table. I'm going to minimize this and open up my window a little farther so you can see what I'm doing now. In order to put a border around your table, you're going to put your mouse in A1, hold down the mouse button, and drag it until everything is highlighted. Okay, it's going to highlight the whole thing. That's okay. In order to get the borders around the outside and inside, you have to look for the button. It's not going to be listed under any of your topics. It's actually, if you go to the end of whatever buttons are listed on your screen and you click this little down arrow, it's going to give you a choice for visible buttons. And I already have the borders button open, but in case yours isn't there, it's down here at the bottom. You'll just need to make sure that there's a little check mark next to it so it's going to show up. Mine's actually located right here. It's just a little white square and it says borders when I hover over it. I'm going to click the little down arrow and I have some choices for what I want my table to look like. Since I want a border around the outside and the inside, I'm going to go ahead and choose this last one here. I'm going to click it and it's going to automatically put lines around my entire table. So now I've completed the first step, how to create a table using this program, which is Calc. Now, it also wants you to practice how to create different types of graphs. So let me quickly show you how to create a bar graph very easily using OpenOffice Calc. We're going to do the same thing we did before. We're going to put our mouse in the first square. We're going to hold down the button and highlight everything again. And now we're going to go to Insert, Chart. And when you click on that, it's going to automatically create a bar graph just from the data that you have selected. Now you can change the kind of graph that you want to create. You can use the bar graph, which it does tell you you're going to create. There's also a pie graph, so you can change it into a pie chart. You see how it automatically updates as soon as I click on it. And it wants you to also know how to make a line graph, which is another choice. It's the fifth one down here, and it's just going to give me dots, so I'm actually going to choose the one with the actual line included. And you can kind of play around with it until you get comfortable with how to use the program. So I'm going to go back to the columns, since that's the first one you need to do, and I'll just go through how to do the whole rest of it. The pie graph and the line graph work exactly the same. What we're going to do is we're going to click Next. After we've chosen what chart type we want, we're going to click Next. We're going to leave this the way it is. We don't need to change anything here, and click Next again. Whoops. Go back to the data series here. We don't need to change anything here. This is just asking what the data is that you have already inserted, and we don't need to do anything here. The only one we need to do anything with is our last step here, which is called Chart Elements. And what we want to do is we want to give it a title, and I'm not sure if it tells us in the directions what title to give it. It doesn't say here, so let me go back to the lesson here real quick and see if it tells us, if we're using a bar graph, what to give the title, because I want to follow the directions as they're given to you. Okay, yes it does. Okay, so our chart title is Daily Exercise. And let me bring it back up here. So Daily Exercise. We don't need a subtitle. Our x-axis going across the bottom, this is the day of the week. Days of the week, and the y-axis is, let me just check what our instructions tell us to do. Days of the week and exercise in minutes. Okay, so once you have that in, you're going to click Finish. And it has created the bar graph for you. And you can move this around, just pull on the edge. If we want to change it, we're just going to highlight. And it doesn't let me change it. Okay, never mind. So we get the bar graph. If you want to create another kind of graph, just go back, highlight the whole thing again, insert chart, and it's going to create a second one. This time we can do the pie chart and go through all the process. Next, next, and then just give it a title. Let me see what our title was. And I can't move it. So you'll give it a title, and you don't have to fill out any axis, and then you'll click Finish, and then to do the third type, again, highlight, insert, chart, and this time we want the line graph. Okay, so you can make 3 different charts until you're comfortable with how to use the program. I hope that this explains a little bit better how to create your different kinds of graphs, and if you have any questions, just let me know. Also, those of you who are using Office 2007, if you happen to have watched this thinking that this was it, those instructions should be in the virtual library. Just follow the instructions within the lesson. All right, let me know if you need any help with anything, and thanks for joining me today.